Plans to build a 7th fire station.
We've got showers and thunderstorms off to our northwest. Will they make it here or will it even rain at all? That answer coming up.
And Russian President Vladimir Putin doubles down on his aggression in Ukraine.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Joplin pushes forward with what they consider a balanced budget. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Topping our first 7 minutes, Joplin city officials discuss the city's proposed budget for the fiscal year 2023. Now, big topic at last night's work session was transparency with the citizens of Joplin. Some officials pointed to the failed Proposition public safety tax as an example of how it's important that residents understand where exactly their tax dollars are going. While they agree it's not perfect, the current proposed budget makes sense.
Proposed budget is a balanced budget. That's a requirement. With that said, there are needs that are left unaddressed. There's a need to continue to improve our public safety pay and staffing for the organization as a whole. We're going to need to find a long-term solution for that. But within this budget is balanced, and it will provide us an opportunity to bring some improvement to the community.
Since this was just a work session, nothing was officially decided last night. Well, Joplin residents can expect the city's 7th fire station by the summer of 2023. Station number 7 will be on the southeast side of the city, which will cover the Crossroads Industrial Park. It'll also host Joplin's hazmat team. The goal is for each station to cover a 2.5-mile radius.
But when they expanded the city limits out to the east, the station that was covering that is Station 5 that sits at 32nd in Texas, right there next to Food for Less. And it just got to be where it was really a stretch for them to get out there in a timely manner.
Station number 7 will be located at 6720 East 30th Street. Well, Mother Nature is putting fire on the 4 states again today. Chris Warner joins us with the first look.
Yeah, it's going to be a hot one, and we are set to break a record. So the almanac, again, the only reason I show it to you at noon is to show you where we should be. 80 is our normal high, 57 is our normal low. 95 is the record back in 1956. Yeah, we're set to exceed that. I guess the good news is we're nowhere near the record low of 35, so it's not that cold out yet. Skywatch storm tracker is clear, despite what that looks like. We're looking at this off to our northwest. Some showers and thunderstorms across southern Nebraska, north central Kansas. These are not necessarily going to make their way here, but they are the catalyst of what will be bringing us some rain chances. And a quick reminder for our friends in CJ, Pennell Street at the Kansas City Southern rail crossing right at 171. That is closed today and tomorrow, so make sure you do plan for an alternate route. Temperatures across the area: 93 Joplin, 92 Carthage, 95 Parsons, 96 Neodesha, Independence, Sedan, and check out Chanute at 98 degrees. And we do have a wee bit of a heat index to deal with. It's only about a degree or 2 higher, so at least it's making it somewhat bearable outside. The future track, we are looking at the possibility later this evening of some showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder, say around 6, 7, 8 o'clock before we really start to get actual activity moving in here in terms of more showers later. Still on track for a high of 99, 94 at 2, increasing clouds, 95 at 5. And then we're looking at those showers and maybe a rumble of thunder come 8 o'clock and 86 by then. We're going to take a complete look at the forecast, including how long the rain will stick around and how cool it's going to get here in a few minutes.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, Hurricane Fiona is now a Category 4 storm and gaining strength before possibly making landfall in Bermuda later this week. Fiona slammed into Turks and Caicos with winds up to 125 miles per hour. The storm also forced more than 12,000 people from their homes in the Dominican Republic due to flooding. And in Puerto Rico, more than 1 million people are still without power after Monday's landfall. Russian President Vladimir Putin orders up reservists after suffering a setback in the northeast part of Ukraine. He's warning the West to stay out of the conflict and threatening to use any means, including weapons of mass destruction. Deborah Pata is in the reclaimed Kharkiv province and looks at how far Ukraine's army has pushed back their Russian aggressors.
Vladimir Putin's been pushed into a corner. Only reservists will be drafted, he announced today. The priority, those with military expertise and experience. But it is Putin who has come out guns blazing, warning the West he still has weapons of mass destruction, read that as nuclear, and he's prepared to use them. We will use all the means at our disposal to protect Russia and our people, he said. This is not a bluff. With his back against the wall, Putin's war is going very badly for him. This is how far Ukrainian soldiers have pushed back Russian troops. The nearest Russian border post just over 2 miles down this road, which is why we have to be quick, because even though this village is liberated, Russian artillery can still strike here. Kazacha Lopan was seized on the very first day of the war. The National Guard's 3rd Brigade is holding it down, but it is not easy. I think we have this fully under control, said Unit Commander nicknamed Oplot. The enemy has fully retreated from this territory.
Is it totally free? Because we're still hearing the sound of artillery.
Our aim is not to let the enemy ever enter here again. Both sides are still losing men in these border towns, and these fighters know full well it's one thing to take back territory, quite another to hold onto it permanently.
Putin is also organizing referendums in some of the occupied territories east of here to force through a vote to become part of Russia. Once that happens, it sets the stage for him to claim an attack on those regions is an attack on Russia. Deborah Pattis, CBS News, Kharkiv, Ukraine.
One-way flights out of Russia are skyrocketing in price and selling out after Putin's announcement. Well, the New York Attorney General announces a civil fraud lawsuit against former President Trump, the Trump Organization, and his children. The suit is seeking $250 million in damages and alleges fraud at the highest levels of the business. The former president is expected to respond this afternoon, and we'll have the latest. A Trump attorney says in a statement the filing is politically motivated and that no wrongdoing had taken place. That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, we take a look at some iconic images from the late Southeast Kansas native Gordon Parks. And later, we're making a dreamy tiramisu in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. The late Gordon Parks was considered one of the most renowned photographers of the 20th century. And while Parks spent his childhood years here in the 4 states in Fort Scott, Kansas, he made his mark in Washington, D.C. The nation will soon get the chance to see his early work for the first time. CBS's Nicole Killian gives us a snapshot.
Gordon Parks looked through his lens at the poor and the powerful.
He's really documenting the second half of the 20th century.
Benjamin Talton is director of the Moreland Spingarn Research Center at Howard University, which acquired more than 250 photographs from Parks' collection.
What was it like for you going through these photographs?
It was actually mind-blowing because I know him from Shaft. I had never seen a color photograph of Malcolm X.
Before he captured iconic images of Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, and Sidney Poitier, the self-taught Kansas native honed his craft in the nation's capital at the height of segregation, launching his career as the first black staff photographer at Life magazine.
The collection really does span his earliest work from the 40s all the way to the 90s. He shot pictures at Howard University in 1941, and now it's going back to Howard University so that future generations see the importance of this man.
Developing new exposure to Parks' prints. Nicole Killian, CBS News, Washington.
If you'd like to learn more about the life of Gordon Parks, a little bit closer to home, you can check out the Gordon Parks Museum in Fort Scott. It's open weekdays from 9 to 4. Well, still on the KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
If you're a coffee lover like I am, then you're going to love the sweet treat we're whipping up today. Don't you go anywhere. Stick around.
But first, Chris Warner returns with your complete forecast.
I have got some rain on the way, which is good news. It's not necessarily a lot of rain, but it is rain that we desperately need because it's hot today. It's going to really cool off. First, a look at the Skywatch storm tracker. Nothing locally, but out to our northwest, we've got some showers and thunderstorms across southern Nebraska, north central Kansas. This batch isn't necessarily going to impact us, but it is part of what will be bringing us some shower chances a little bit later, which is good news. 7th in range line. A few stray clouds out in the sky, but if you look off to the northwest, you can see some distant clouds. Cloud cover will continue to increase. 93 in Joplin right now, feels like 95. And across the region, it is a bit on the toasty side, especially considering we're in the middle of September. And it is 98 in Chanute, 96 Neodesha, 93 Chetopa, 89 Neosho and Anderson, 86 in Monette. And we look at the dew points, and they are still in the lower to mid-60s across the area, and that does give us a wee bit of a heat index. I mean, that's the one good thing, is the heat index is only 2, maybe 3 degrees higher than the actual temperature, so it's at least bearable 99-degree heat today, if you can call it that. And there's also good news for allergy sufferers as well. We got an 8.3 out of 12 today, still moderately high, but we dropped to a 7.1 out of 12 on the pollen count for tomorrow, thanks to the cold front and the incoming rain. As we go through the rest of the day, as we mentioned, the clouds will continue to increase, and then say around 5, 6, 7 o'clock this evening, we're looking at showers and maybe a rumble of thunder. 86 by 8, still looking for a high of 99, which is set to break our record of 95, set back in 1956. We'll gradually drop off to 63 tonight. Shower chances, these are scattered, but shower chances hold on through about 3 or 4 a.m. And then, heading into the weekend, more shower chances and maybe another record-breaking day Saturday, 92, and then very early shower chances on Sunday, 88, otherwise partly cloudy. And we have some really cool nights coming. We got some more fall-like weather on the way. Future track, so this is 3 o'clock today. There's that activity off to our northwest. It tries to sink in, and early tomorrow morning, it starts to move into our area, but you can see it kind of dies out, unfortunately. Then we go through Friday and some rain chances, maybe some thunderstorms across our northern counties. And as we head into Sunday, late Saturday and Sunday, a few more scattered showers possible, but they clear out of here pretty quickly on Sunday. After that, though, you can see temperatures are a bit more reasonable. We see some rain tried to get to us, but it just doesn't hold on. So we stay dry, but take a look at this low for Friday morning, 49. We start to get a little more fall-like after this gets through. Over the next 8 to 14 days, we're still slated to be below normal for precipitation, unfortunately, and we're still slated to be a bit above normal despite this cold front. In terms of temperatures over the next couple of weeks. And back to our records. So here's where we go. So we came close to tying on Tuesday. We're very likely going to break our record today. And it's going to be a close one Saturday. The record high Saturday was 1911, was 90 degrees. And we're forecast right now for 92. So we could still break it. But the good news is we start to cool down in between these points at least a little bit. And that's what we can see on the 7-day forecast. So still have that slight chance later today. And then we're looking at 75 tomorrow thanks to that cold front. 90 Saturday. So we do heat back up pretty quickly. And then we have the showers just hold on. And then once they clear out Sunday, temperatures become a lot more manageable. We're looking at, upper 70s, lower 80s for afternoon highs under partly cloudy skies. And look at those overnight lows. I mean, we're talking Monday into Tuesday, a low of 50 degrees. So we get a little more fall-like, still above normal, but a little closer to fall for afternoon highs once we get through this system. We just got to get through today and Friday, really. Friday and Saturday is the warm days. And then we start to look a little better. We just need more rain, and unfortunately, at least right now, we're not getting that much. We're getting some, just not enough.
That's right. We need the rain and the cooler temperatures so it can start to look like fall, not just feel like it out there.
I've noticed, the leaves are coming off the trees, and they're not even really changing colors as they come off.
They're all going to fall off before they change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's a bit strange, but I mean, these temperatures for this time of year are a bit strange as well.
All right. Thanks, Chris. We take this time to honor today's 4th state hero, Philip Friedrich in the U.S. Army. The Fort Scott, Kansas native served tours in Vietnam in 1966 and in 1967. He was stationed with both the 67th and 71st EVAC hospital units. To Philip Friedrich, we thank you, our 4th state hero. Well, if you are a coffee lover, then you need to treat yourself to today's tasty dessert. Howard shows us how to make Dreamy Tiramisu in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
You know, it's not surprising, based on how popular coffee is, that the Italian dessert tiramisu, which happens to be laced with coffee and coffee liqueur, shows up on menus everywhere. Although it looks like it would be difficult to make, truth be told, it doesn't have to be. Today, we're sharing a version that's easy and dreamy. We start by combining a generous amount of mascarpone cheese with sugar. We beat it well before folding in half of our whipped heavy cream. This is going to be our filling. At this point, we line the bottom of an 8-inch square baking dish with ladyfingers. I like using the soft ones, which are sponge-like. We drizzle these with a mixture we made by combining instant coffee granules, coffee liqueur, water, and a splash of vanilla. Next, we add a layer of the filling and repeat everything one more time. The remaining whipped cream goes on top before dusting it with some cocoa powder. That's what gives our tiramisu its signature look. Once it's chilled, it's ready to serve. Talk about a showstopper. To get the recipe for our creamy, dreamy tiramisu, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a coffee lover's way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Well, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
All right, looking at a record high today, 99, maybe some late day showers and thunderstorms, more showers as we head through the weekend. 75 for the first day of fall. We warm back up, and then we get to some more manageable temperatures at the start of next week.
I'm looking forward to that 75 tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds nice.
What do we have coming up tomorrow?
Well, at 5, a new report finds fewer teens are smoking traditional cigarettes and drinking alcohol, but more are using cannabis and vaping. We're going to look at those numbers in Health Watch today. Plus, graffiti continues to plague scenery at Wildcat Glades. Today, a group from Missouri Southern State University is helping clean up the vandalism. And second-year med students from KCU are providing free health assessments to some Joplin Elementary students. Join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up on KOAM News today at 5.
All right, today at 5.
Today at 5.
Not tomorrow.
I was trying to see what was coming up tomorrow, and it wasn't working.
We'll figure that
You
one
are
out.
a forecaster. That's your job.
That's true. Okay,
Peering
well,
into the
tomorrow,
future.
75 is what's
Tomorrow,
coming up.
cooler temperatures as we prepare for the first day of fall at
yeah.
8 p.m.
4 seconds.
There you go. Thanks for joining us for KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5 o'clock.